Today I am going to give you a brief introduction of dividend. The term dividend refers to that part of profits of a company which is distributed by the company among its shareholders. It is the reward of the shareholders for investment made by them in the shares of a company. Whenever a company raises money by issuing equity shares, then these investors expect some returns from their investments. And these types of return can be in two forms, wherein the first kind of return can be in the form of capital appreciation, while the other is in form of dividends. Whenever a company raises its funds from equity source, then further the firm uses these funds for making certain capital expenditures. That is, the firm can use the funds in certain projects from where the firm can generate the returns from the investment that the firm has made. And that return is sometimes termed as profits. However, the equity shareholders expects the returns from the investment they have made in the form of capital appreciation and the dividends. So the profit are being used to meet such expectations of the equity shareholders. So from these profits, the company distributes a reasonable amount of dividends and retain the rest of the amount for its growth and survival. So if a company pays out most of the profits in the form of dividends and retain less for the purpose of the business requirement and further expansion, then it will have to depend upon the outside resources such as issue of debt or maybe the new shares. Therefore, the dividend policy has the direct effect on the value of a firm and the market price of the shares. Since value of a firm is a great issue in an organization, every organization wants to increase the value of firm, and the value of the firm depends upon shareholders' wealth. So the value of a firm can only be maximized if the shareholders' wealth is maximized. And for the purpose of maximizing the wealth of a shareholder, the company has to distribute the dividends, because the shareholders' wealth is directly related upon the amount of the dividend being issued by a company. So from this you can easily make out that the value of the firm is directly or indirectly is dependent upon the distribution of the dividends. But there are conflicting views regarding the impact of dividend decision on the valuation of a firm. There are two schools of thoughts. The one school of thought says that the dividend decision does not affect the shareholders' wealth, which we call as the theory of irrelevance. On the other hand, according to the other school of thought, dividend decisions materially affects the shareholder wealth and also the valuation of a firm, which we call as theory of relevance. There are certain factors which affects the dividend policies, in which the first point is legal restrictions. Legal provision relating to the dividends as laid down in section 93, 205, 205A, 206 and 207 of Companies Act 1956 are significant because they laid down a framework within which dividends policies is formulated. These provisions requires that dividend can be paid only out of the current profits or the past profits. But generally the dividends are being paid out of the current profits. The second factor which helps in determining the dividend policy is magnitude and trend of earning. The amount and the trend of earning is an important aspect of dividend policy. The dividend should generally be paid out of the current year's earning only as the retained earning of the previous year becomes more or less as a part of a permanent investment of a firm. So if a firm is having a continuous trend of earning, that is a stable trend of earning, then obviously paying dividends will become more easy for an organization. The third point is desire and the type of shareholder. Investors such as retired persons, widows and other economically weaker persons view dividend as a source of funds to meet their day-to-day livings. To benefit such investors, the company should pay regular dividends. On the other hand, a wealthy investor is in a high income tax bracket. He may not be benefited by high current dividend income. Such an investor may be interested in low current dividends and high capital gain. So they prefer high capital gain more than the dividends. Next point is nature of industry. The nature of an industry to which the company is engaged also considerably affects the dividend policy. For instance, people used to drink liquor both in boom as well as in recession. Such firms expect regular earnings and hence can follow a consistent dividend policy. On the other hand, if earnings are uncertain, as in the case of luxury goods, conservative policy should be followed. Now next point is age of a company. The age of a company may also influence the dividend decision of a company because a newly formed company may prefer to retain amount for their expansion and growth, while an older company which have established sufficient reserves can afford to pay liberal dividends. Here another point could be future financial requirement. In this, if a company has a future investment plan which can earn a good amount of profits, then the company should avoid paying dividends. However, if company doesn't have such kind of investment plan, then the company should pay its profit in form of dividends to the investors. Thank you.